Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. I'm going to do a talk this evening. What I'm going to try and do is piece together different aspects of what I've spoken about in the past, put this jigsaw together to some degree to give you an idea of direction with where you think you should be going or where I think you should be going, and try and piece everything all together. I've done a number of videos, as you're probably aware, and when you watch them all, I guess it kind of at times can feel like one big jumbled up mess. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. Where do I start, basically? And obviously, if you go sit in a class with others who have the same interest as you, the same purpose of working as mediums or as healers, then you will normally start by sitting quietly in that silence and reaching out with the medium who's taking either the class or the circle will be obviously helping you with that. They would probably give you a guided meditation, if you like, or a guided sitting in the power, whatever you want to call it. So that's where you would probably start. You may well have read a few books, watched a few videos, and you feel it's time to go and do some practice. So you would probably go join a class somewhere and start in that way. I personally think you are better off starting on your own to some degree. And the reason I say that is because it's kind of like going out to fix a car if you was a mechanic without your toolbox. So in a sense, you need to have those tools on board to be able to at least understand what you are doing whilst you are sat expanding self, in that meditation, in that group, in that class, whatever. There has to be some aspect of understanding as to exactly what it is you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do. The majority of people can sit quietly with their eyes closed. That's not difficult. It can be if you're in a noisy atmosphere somewhere or on the bus on the way home from work or what have you, then obviously it is difficult. But, I mean, if you sit quietly at home, the majority of people can do that, close their eyes and drift off. So you're kind of not really grasping the whole purpose of that. What is the reason? Why am I doing that? How's this going to help my mediumship? So it's important that you understand each stage of your own progression. Now, I always go on about learning about self. Now, that is something that can be gained by simply sitting. Because you are, whilst you're sat in that silence, obviously breaking all ties with the outside world. You are letting go of all the material aspects of your life. You are literally just sat there within your own energy. So whilst you are doing that, there's a lot of healing going on. There's a lot of understanding going on about self. You will start to feel like you are getting in touch with that energy that is within you. So you need to have that intent initially. There's no point in just sitting there with your eyes closed, hoping for the best. And you will get, majority of people will get something whilst they're sat in that quiet space, the mind will give you images, it will give you different sensations. There'll be all sorts of weird and wonderful things happening. That is natural. That is something the mind will do to some extent quite naturally. But we are looking to go beyond that. We are looking at finding self, grasping self, understanding self, and using that as your toolbox to go and repair that car, if you like. So the easiest way I think I can describe this about self, because a lot of people ask that question. I know who I am. They always say, you know, I get up at 6:30, I go to work, come home, have my dinner, blah, 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 watch the telly. I like watching comedies. I like watching drama. I know who I am. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. That's fine. But we're not talking about material self. That is the material side of you. That is what you do day in, day out. It is not who you are. That's two completely different things. The fact you might not like mashed potato will have no spiritual impact upon you whatsoever. That is a material thing. It is, I know it may be teaching you to suck eggs, but at the end of the day, who you are and what you do are two completely separate, different things. You are trying to find out who you are. And it's kind of in the same way of saying, this is Kevin's hand, this is Kevin's arm, this is Kevin's head, Kevin's ears, etc. Who is Kevin? You could turn around and say, it's that personality. Kevin is a personality, if you like. He has a personality. But is that Kevin? It may be the fact that Kevin, if you like, will react to certain circumstances in the way he's been taught to, through experience of life itself. He will look at things how he's been taught to look at things. He will deal with things how he's been taught to deal with things. So we're not truly talking about Kevin, are we? We are talking about what that person has been trained to do to a degree. So Kevin is not, I deal in operations and premises within education. That's what I do, but that's not me. That is what I do. My true self is not what I do day in, day out. So what you're trying to do is find that true self. And sitting in that silence, within that energy, will help you with that. So whilst you're sat, it's important that you are sat, and I'll say it again, with the right intent. And ask for spirit to draw close. Give permission for spirit to draw close. Thank them for trying to draw close. Whilst you're sending out that intent, and if you are of open heart and intention, there's that little flag that you are waving to the energy of spirit. They will sense that. When we do readings, demonstrations, etc., it is the vibration, that love vibration, that we are working with. That love and that light vibration is where we are working from. So whilst you're sat in that silence, your open heart, your intention is your vibration, is that signal to spirit. It is within that vibration that they will make their presence felt, because they are on that vibration themselves. So it's important that you kind of grasp that side of things. Once you understand your true self, so what you've got to kind of do to some degree, and it's not easy, is filter out the things that you've been taught, how you've been shown to react, the experiences that have made you act in a certain way, or your different perceptions of things. You kind of need to push them to one side. In a way, you're questioning yourself. Is that truly how I feel about that? Or is that how I've been shown to feel about that? Is that how I've been shown to react to that? Is that what is really within me? And once you start to question it, you will start to learn. You will start to understand who you are. That spiritual light within yourself. So you've got to that point, you've got to that stage, you have an understanding of self, you have a true understanding of what your intent is, what your purpose is, what you wish to do in the future. With this understanding you now have, it is now time, as that energy starts to draw closer to you, becomes stronger, it's time to put this into practice. And the more you sit with self and spirit, the more you learn. The stronger your sense will become of that link with them, that love vibration that comes through to you, and you learn in a way, and I can think of describing it, in a sense like learning a new language. You understand the spiritual language. So you kind of take on board how that vibration feels, what certain things mean as you sense them from spirit, to help you with your demonstrations and your readings. And this is over time. You are now working in truth, not someone else's idea, not how someone else sees it. You are now working in truth, because the truth is 100% within you. It's not out there in a book. There will be many who say, yes, it is. But the true essence of who you are, the true essence of that life force, God, if you like, whatever label you give it, whatever your beliefs are, it doesn't matter. Respect them all. But you are now in touch with truth. Your own personal God, if you like. It is the same God, the same life force, the same great spirit that runs through everything, that is part of us. We are working within that atmosphere of life source of truth. And because we are doing that, we are light years away from working with demons, with darkness, and all that jazz that you've probably had drummed into you over the years. You are stepping into that stream of life source and flowing with it. You are using that very essence of life source that is within you to merge with that of spirit. The spirit may well be a step closer to the true purity of that life source. And I say a step, and it is literally a step. Their understanding, their knowledge is obviously greater than ours because they are that step closer. But they are not in a position of knowing all. And many an energy will tell you that. They understand the existence of that purity of light, of love, that God, if you like. They understand it in a better sense than what we do because we are so restricted in our understanding. So they understand it in a better way, a more pure way than what we do. And as I was explaining the other night to a lady, sometimes when energy comes through to us, they will appear slightly differently in both how they tell us things, how they see their experience of things when they were here. They will see it differently to how they saw it whilst they were here. And sometimes that comes across. And you get it in a reading. Well, I can't really see him saying that. But we need to understand that their perception of it is different now. Things that they did whilst here, they now see in a different light. So they may well not come across exactly how they was whilst within this realm, which is purely understandable. So when I talk of the simplicity of mediumship, I'm trying to put across the fact that we need to drop all that jargon and things that have been drummed into us over the years and just look at life itself, that life force within us, and work with it. We spend too much time worshipping the energy around us sometimes. We would do more good in just working with it and spending more time working with it, understanding it, allowing it to flow through us, allowing it to permeate into the world around us. It would do far more good allowing that to happen than simply just worshipping. We are respectful every time we sit. Every time we do a reading, a demonstration, we are respectful of the souls that surround us. And that's important. We hold that respect. So the more you sit, the better understanding of self you will get, the better understanding of the energy around you, you will start to see things differently. And in a sense, you will start to change outwardly, because your understanding will be vastly different to what it is now. And the things you used to worry about, used to play on your mind, will be put in their place. You will be so much more laid back because you understand what is important better than what you did before. So instead of allowing that programming that's been happening since the day you drew your first breath, instead of allowing that to rule your life, that pretense of being who you are, that's all it is. It's just a pretense of who you are. Instead of allowing that to be your front, if you like, allow that source, that life source from within, be your front, be who you are. And it's amazing the number of people who think in a similar way will start to cross your path. No such thing as coincidence. Like will attract like. And before you know it, there'll be people in need will start to cross your path. Those that need your knowledge to help them on their journey of life. And it won't be coincidental, it will simply happen. So keep sitting. Send out that love, that light, not artificially, not through imagination, but through love from your own heart. Because that, like I said before, is what Spirit will see and sense and work with. I wish you all the best. Have a lovely evening. I hope that helps, just putting a few pieces of that jigsaw together. Because obviously I'll go on about different things, self and what have you. And I thought I'd just do a bit more explaining, a better explanation of what I'm trying to say and how I'm trying to help. So please like, please subscribe. I say that every time, but please do. And please have a look on Patreon if you'd like the one-to-one lessons that I do, or if you'd like to join the circle and work with us. And like I said, have a lovely evening, and it's bye for now.